of my period as commissioner. As soon as I became commissioner, I created the website for the fourth ward that contains over 200 township documents, many not found anywhere else, so that we could communicate and be open, so that residents could see what happens, what goes on. I started an email newsletter list that is now sent out over 3,000 separate emails to residents. I have visited 98% of the households in the ward because I know many of them don't receive email and want to meet with me, their commissioner, personally. I send out print newsletters focused specifically on the ward, but only 4 pages, with the remainder on the internet because it saves the township money to do it that way. I immediately, when I became commissioner, began working with the township on ways that it could improve communication. We live in a society where everyone wants immediate responses. So we need email, we need print newsletters, we need all of them. And all of those items are part of the package that I have delivered to the fourth ward consistently, and those newsletters go well beyond the fourth ward. I hear from police officers and others that they use the newsletters and the website as a resource. Thank you.
Mr. Williamson?
Thank you. Communication, I want to commend my opponent, Mr. Siegel. He does have a very good website, and I think he has done a good job in that regard. 2 other things that I'd like to do, in addition to have a website, I would even ask for Mr. Siegel's help when I win this election. However, I propose in the spring a hotline where my people in the fourth ward could call me up and I would immediately answer their phone calls. And the third thing is knocking on doors, as Mr. Siegel has knocked on doors. I've knocked on every door in the fourth ward twice already, and I intend to continue to do that. So communication is very important, and I commend Mr. Siegel for what he's done so far.
Mr. Holmes? In what areas relevant to being a commissioner do you believe your expertise is greater than that of your opponent? Mr. Siegel?
Thank you. It's an interesting question. I don't know how easy it is to answer because I know Mr. Williamson is a very passionate individual, and I think I am too. That may be the hallmark of both of us. But I've had my whole life a passion for service and a passion for people that probably is no better embodied than being a commissioner. I love meeting people, I love working with them, I love the ability to help them. I've done that all my life in various arenas, through bar associations, through work years ago in gun control, but nothing is more satisfying, I think, than the desire to work with people and help people. They see me at their door and say, "You really like that?" And I go, "Yes." And there's this look of incredulation, but it's true. What we do matters because what we do is for everyone to make things better. And that passion has really come out on the board. I see it with other members. But I can't think of anything I'd rather do than continue serving the people.
Okay. Mr. Williamson?
Thank you. I won't comment on my client or my opponent's youth and inexperience. He is much younger than me, so I'm not going to comment on that. However, 4 things I believe in, and I think I've told you before. Number 1, protect families, children, and seniors in Hannaford Township. Number 2, stop billboards in Hannaford Township. Number 3, solve this traffic congestion problem. And finally, hold the line on taxes. Any commissioner can spend your money. We need a commissioner who's going to save your money. Thank you.
The practicalities. The township is considering eliminating curbside leaf collection as a method of saving money. Do you support the elimination of curbside leaf collection? And if not, would you support the additional funding necessary to maintain the program? Thank you. Mr. Siegel.
Thank you. Going back for a second to what Mr. Williamson said, I think I should thank my parents for allowing me to age so well. Turning to the issue of leaf collection, it's one of those issues in which the reality is I've sort of had a change of religion, shall we say, since I became commissioner. At first, when they talked about going to bagging leaves, I thought it was a great idea, and you have a house like mine with few leaves, it is. But as I have talked to more and more people, I've discovered that if there is one issue that many residents are extremely passionate about, and it sets Haverford apart from other communities, it is the curbside leaf collection. And I believe that we need to continue, or to find a way to continue it, even at a cost. When you look at the cost per household, it's not that great. But when you look at the popularity of the program and its value to the residents, I've come to the conclusion that we need to either continue it either in full or in some combination, maybe one curbside and one bag leaf pickup. Residents truly care about the issue. I've probably received 50 emails, and they all want it to continue.
Mr. Williamson?
Mr. Siegel and I once again agree. We definitely have to continue the leaf collection program, particularly in the fourth ward where we have a tremendous amount of trees. I think there's ways that you can collect leaves and do it in a cheaper fashion than we are doing it. Right now we have tremendous unemployment in this country, and I'm sure that we could use that unemployment in order to hire people part-time in order to get the job done. Leaf collection must continue. There are cheaper ways to do it, but it must continue. I agree with Mr. Siegel.
The township should handle the MMOs, which are minimum municipal obligations that you need to do to fund the pension plans. How should they handle that in the next year's budget?
Okay.
Mr. Siegel. Very good.
For those people who don't know and haven't seen the articles in the Inquirer or can't stay awake for the commissioner meetings, MMOs are minimum municipal obligations and how we fund our pension set by a fairly complicated formula. Currently, the township pension is underfunded, as are most municipalities, and because of the dramatic drop in interest rates and rates of return, the township, as our advisors have informed us, has some very difficult decisions to make. We have to fund the MMOs. There are different ways to do it. Past boards have done it in a variety of ways. But our advisors at the last meeting made general recommendations that we're going to continue to do it. But residents have to understand that the numbers are significant enough that it will affect other obligations in the budget. We don't have a choice in funding MMOs, but we have to be creative, and I'm waiting for the budget from the township manager to see exactly what he recommends.